Alright, Season 3, Episode 3, and today we're diving into the Lilo and Stitch remake. That's absolutely way worse than we thought. I've heard people say this could be Disney's biggest mistake yet. So let's see what's going on.
All her final form, she was low-key conniving. Then she out here taking. So as the Disney remakes just keep on rolling, you have to wonder, like, what happens when they run out? You know what I mean? Are they just gonna start remaking them all again in 2030? When Snow White came out and did just abysmal box office numbers, Disney put the lid on all the future remakes for about 7 minutes until Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion. Lilo and Stitch originally came out in 2002, and I was 14 at the time.
Hey, Lilo and Stitch wasn't bad. People started liking the cartoon version of Lilo and Stitch. And then when the Lilo and Stitch movie came out, everybody was hyping that movie up. Everybody wanted to see it.
So I knew everything and had very sophisticated tastes. And I remember thinking this movie was real dumb. I thought Stitch was annoying. I thought the alien spaceship stuff was weird. I thought Lilo was obnoxious. I thought Nani was the hottest girl I'd ever seen. It was a whirlwind of emotions. So the remake has come out and smashed every box office record there's ever been, apparently. And so I watched the original movie and then this new one. And you know, I did watch the new one. And I watched the cartoon. The 2002 Lilo and Stitch movie might be the funniest Disney movie ever. I mean, like literally laugh out loud hilarious. And then, like I said, I watched the remake. And you know,
what?
Okay, back to the show. So the remake starts out very much like the original. We have this scientist guy named Jumba, and he has genetically created some kind of...
Mostly a cartoon version into like the real human.
So like in the original movie, Jumba had this Russian accent that's very overplayed for this kind of character.
Dr. Jumba Jukiba, you stand before this council accused of illegal genetic experimentation.
Not guilty. My experiments are only theoretical, but completely within legal boundaries.
But you know, it definitely sounds way better than the remake. Like, old Jumba felt authoritative, albeit a little bit silly and stereotypical. But in the remake, this is just one of the most phoned-in performances I've ever heard.
How?
Like, this dude recorded all of his lines on the phone while taking a dump. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Stitch is some kind of super genetic dude guy who's indestructible, super smart. He even knows how to pronounce all the really hard dinosaur names. Incredible, this guy. The majority of the population of this planet, let's see, apparently they spend all their time staring at a medium-sized screen, and then they reward themselves afterwards by turning on a big screen, but then actually just staring at a small screen in their hand the whole time. And they just kind of do this every day till they die, I guess. Now, long story short, this head alien lady makes a deal with Jumba that if he goes to Earth to get 626 back, she will commit his 1,000-year prison sentence or whatever. And he gets teamed up with local Earth otaku alien guy.
But y'all gotta think, is Jimbo really going to get Stitch? Cause I don't think Jimbo gonna get him. Cause Stitch got a different mindset than Jimbo, and his mindset way out there than Jimbo mindset is.
We'll simply vaporize the planet, Captain.
So right here with this whole like beginning part, there's actually a lot of changes they made from the original. In this movie, Lilo is a cute little 6-year-old girl who just kind of doesn't fit in and gets teased by the other girls in her hula class. But in the original movie, like Lilo's just freaking like, you are not ready for this.
You're crazy.
She just beats the crap out of this kid and chews her arm off. Or like this little doll thing right here, right? Like in the remake, this is just Lilo's kind of weird looking toy because she's so quirky. But this movie completely erases the real true backstory of this little guy.
Wait, is the real backstory of it?
I made her, but her head is too big. So I pretend a bug laid eggs in her ears. And she's upset because she only has a few more days to...
What? What the heck? Is everything okay? The original 2002 Lilo is just hilariously out of pocket. Like no joke, the best character Disney's ever made. And what really sells all this, in my opinion, is just how adorable the animation is. The way they designed the characters is maybe kind of polarizing, but just look at how cute Lilo is when she just does literally anything. Like the way she bops around when she runs, her little mannerisms. The animation in this movie is really incredible. You can't get any of that in live action.
You can't.
My friends need to be punished.
What? My friends need to be punished.
You know what she reminds me of is like the little star from the Mario movie?
In an insane world, it is the same who is called crazy. Time, like hope, is an illusion.
Anyway, so Lilo gets in trouble for giving that girl what she had coming. Part of her eldritch darkness rage comes from the fact that her sister Nani was supposed to be there to watch her at the recital, but she never showed up. This is another change from the original movie that we're gonna get into more later, so just keep it in the back of your head, right?
Sometimes I eat so much I can't breathe.
Oh yeah, also they totally changed the social worker. In the original, it was Mr. Bubbles.
This is Mr. Bubbles.
Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Your knuckles say Cobra.
So that's why.
Cobra Bubbles.
Normally the social worker is supposed to be
You don't look like a social worker.
I'm a special classification.
So they switch
Did you ever
role.
kill anyone?
Wow.
Disney actually talked about this change before the movie came out, and they said this. If the dramatic stakes of Lilo is that she's going to be separated from her sister, then you need a person who actually services those stakes in a credible way. Fletcher Camp says, you can get away with that being Cobra Bubbles in an animated film. A 6'5" huge dude with Cobra tattooed on his knuckles is somehow a social worker in that world. So like, I mean...
What?
Huh? We still have the alien and Stitch and all of this, but a large black man being a social worker is just too far? Is that not the entire point of this character?
Best friend.
But make sure that she's like the good kind of weird and not the bad kind of weird that's like really annoying or whatever, because there's only room in this friendship for one annoying drama queen, and that's me. Now, in the original movie, Nani hears Lilo wishing for a friend, which is why they go to the dog shelter the next day. But in the remake, Lilo goes to the shelter just like on her own because she feels like it, and Nani is upset by this, which feels so weirdly incongruent, because like in the original, you know, it's like, oh,
about the remix to the cartoon version is like when you compare it, right? They do look the same, but when you compare it, they take out so much from the cartoon version and remix it. So like some parts are the same, but others be like different because they put in like in different format or different ways.
I feel so bad for Lilo. Maybe we could get a dog or something. And in the remake, it's like, oh man, I feel so bad for Lilo. Anyway, guess I'll play Fortnite. So like I said, Lilo goes to the dog shelter one day, guess what she finds there? You know, like obviously the original movie was mainly for families with kids or whatever, but this remake is just jingling keys every 5 minutes for the ADHD TikTok crowd, you know what I'm saying? Also, like back in the original, there's quite a few slower scenes with Stitch where we get to see a little more depth in his character, like when he reads the Ugly Duckling book, for example.
He's sad because he's all alone and nobody wants him. But on this page, his family hears him crying and they find him. Then the ugly duckling is happy.
But pretty much all that is gone in this remake, and Stitch is just doing all the Stitch stuff, you know what I mean? But all the same, this is pretty much how the movie goes, more or less. Nani has to spend all of her time watching Lilo and Stitch. Oh, that's why the movie's called that! Guys, I solved the riddle. All the while looking for a job, but Lilo and Stitch keep getting up to no good nonsense, and Nani keeps getting fired from and or rejected from every job Again, there's a pretty major change from the original movie where Nani's looking for a job, so she talks to this like insanely hot lifeguard.
Oh,
man, this is a very formative scene when you're 14 right now. Oh, yeah, okay, I definitely like girls. Yep, I can't wait to get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wow, this did not go like I thought it would. So after being rejected constantly and Lilo feeling like it's all her fault, they all decide to take some time off and go surfing with local hot dude neighbor guy, David.
The great thing about David is everybody knows David like Nani. It's just he just don't want to admit that he like Nani. You don't want nobody to know that he had a crush on her. Everybody know evil stuff that I don't know
the
why.
Heck is all this? Like I kind of
really don't know why.
Everything in this remake is just like a one step too far. Nani and Lilo's parents died, and Nani might lose custody of her sister. Also, she wants to go to college on a full-ride scholarship, but gave it up for Lilo. Jumba wants his experiment back from the Galactic Federation. Also, he hates love, family, and friendship and wants to destroy the universe or something. But so, the very end of the movie, the Galactic Federation shows up to capture Stitch because Jumba went rogue, so they like capture him too. And the lady in charge decides to let Stitch stay on Earth with his new Ohana.
You have all shown me that there is good in this creature. However, Experiment 626 has been sentenced to life in exile here on Earth.
Smiley already said yes.
So, like, on the one hand, it's kind of stupid that we see Nani go through all this stuff, and then she, like, doesn't even get to keep Lilo, like in the original, you know? But that being said, all this...
Like, Nani went through all the issue, and she didn't get to keep Lilo, but now she get to keep her? What does that mean?
going around the internet a couple months ago was so overblown. Like, did any of you actually watch the movie? Because, like, Lilo's taken away from Nani because of legal reasons, but she's adopted by the neighbor lady who's basically like her aunt anyway, and Nani goes off to college, but she has this alien portal gun so she can visit literally anytime she wants. Now, to be fair, much like the rest of this remake, this idea was handled very poorly. You know, the neighbor lady has lost her husband at some point, and it's just her and her grandson, David. So having these two kind of broken families come together, like, officially, it makes sense. But all of this happens off screen. And then at the end, it's kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm adopting Lilo or something or whatever. Oh, okay, cool. This all would have had a lot more impact. Like, if we actually saw Nani and Tutu talking about this, and then Nani herself kind of realizing that Ohana can have a much broader meaning or something like that. I do agree that this all kind of undermines much of the movie's theming, but it's definitely not at all like how the internet was portraying it to be. Can you believe people would just lie on the internet like that? But all the same, that's more or less the Lilo and Stitch remake. So yeah, you know, they changed a bunch of stuff for the worse, and they removed a lot of the best parts of the original, and it made a bajillion
changed so much in the
that sure is a
remake.
Disney remake.
Moved so much that
Situations
y'all
like this always make me think
need
about,
to be
like,
in it.
nostalgia.